The first thing I want to show you, for those that are on the Gate Live platform watching this, I want to make sure that you understand what this is about. So for me, it's really about educating you to make informed decisions yourself. Yes, I have been doing videos each day, which is watch lists. Okay, it's a watch list. So it's showing you opportunities in the market whereby there might be trades set up. And to get this information, you need to be following the Gate Twitter page. All right, so follow the Gate Twitter page and make sure you're aware of that. Now, for those of you that are also tuned in live for the scanned through your registration through the 4-part series that I'm delivering, put on by Gate, this is what you need to do. For those of you who have not gone through the series, this is what you need to do. Now, a little bio on me, very short, as you can see it all here. All you've got to do is go to tradercobb.com/gate.io, put your first name, all these details in. Now, once you hit that, and of course you can see what it's all about, yada, yada. Once you fill that out, if you happen to have not seen these events live, then once you register, you go to this page. It tells you the registration is complete. This bald man right here is me. Scroll down, and what you'll see is the first couple of sessions there as well available to you so that you can go through and catch up on this particular strategy. I've been trading for 15 years, the last 11 years, or the last decade at least. I have been doing this full time. I've got 2 children. I'm not a single man floating around the world that doesn't need a lot of capital. I've got 2 children. I live in a place here in Bondi Beach, and that is not cheap either. So I've been around the block. I've worked with some massive corporations in traditional markets, and I focus my time 100% now in crypto. Why? Because it is the most volatile marketplace in the world, and therefore, as a trader, it's the most profitable if you know what you're doing. And guess what? I know what I'm doing. My objective here is to empower you through my TraderCobb.com business, through what Gates put on, having me here to present and help and guide you. This is an ongoing process. It's a passion of mine, and I want you to be involved. So please, like I say, register here at TraderCobb.com gate.io. Once you fill that in, you'll go to this page and you'll get to see the recordings there and catch up for what I'm about to show you. This scan tonight is incredible, and I'll tell you why. Woo-wee! We have got a damn strong market, ladies and gentlemen. Are you feeling that bullish sentiment? Are you feeling the love? Because I tell you what, I certainly am, and I am one happy little ragamuffin. What you'll see for those of you who have been through the course is a little cradle candle here. Now, you can't deny that because you've learned it now. You know the strategy, you have the checklists. Okay, so the way that I teach for anybody who's not been through that course, of course, those that are on the platform now watching this live, the whole training through here, once you register, it's about teaching you a systemized, structured approach to trading. And what that comes down to is a literal checklist. So I don't leave things to chance. I am a spontaneous man, always have been. I had to recreate myself to be successful as a trader over those 15 years. And the biggest thing that I found to be successful for me was to not think any longer. It was to work from a structured checklist where you literally, when you go to the when you go to the supermarket and you got a shopping list, well, you tick items off and you end up leaving the shopping center with all the things you need. But if you go to the shopping center and you're hungry, you walk out there with a hot chicken, a loaf of white bread, and a thing of butter, and maybe a Mars bar. It's not going to sustain you for the week. It's about creating an opportunity for you to empower yourself, not to guess anymore, to increase the probabilities of your success as a trader. And if your objective is to build Bitcoin or whatever it may be, this is a way to do it. So please do register. Please do watch the recordings. And then this will tie in beautifully with my videos each day on my watch list that will be posted on the Gate Twitter pages. So follow Gate on Twitter. You'll see those videos. You'll also get to tune in here and watch me do this live, and you'll understand a lot more of what I'm looking for. Okay, let's get started. Righto. So yes, Bitcoin. Well, hello there, young Bitcoin. Thank you very much for doing what you do. I spoke of this yesterday, this consolidation. We saw a similar consolidation back here before we got this little bullish candle, the cradle candle, which is now, if any of you took that, you are laughing ha, 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 all the way to the bank because you made some bucks out of that. You're welcome. No, it wasn't me, it was you. Now what I've got is I've got a very strong market, and I want to take you to the weekly. Because here's the cradle trade right there. Yep, I was buying all the way through this candle. And again, here when it broke the high, we've got a great trend. Now, we have not seen a close of a weekly candle, which was last week, this one here, since January of 2018. That's significant. Bitcoin has not closed on a weekly candle so high for, wow, 2 years. And here we are. We're pushing on. We're heading to 14,000. Why is 14,000 significant? In that real quick rush up that we saw in 2019, we hit the high of 13,965. Well, where have we got to? 13,800. We are so close, ladies and gentlemen, and there is no resistance above. So if we can pop that little level, we are off to the races potentially. This is not tipping. This is education, and it's bringing my 15 years of experience to help you. So Bitcoin, yeah, it's strong as an ox right now. Let's move down the time frames and find the time frame that we might like to trade. Now, I can tell you right now, I have had a hectic day. The reason I've had a hectic day is because I was trading on the 5-minute time frame with one of my other strategies called the booster. We made money in my community. We all profited through this little move, and it's not a big move, but we made money. Right now, however, for Bitcoin and me, look, honestly, I've got a great trend. You know, it's divergent. There's not too much for me on the higher time frames that's of interest. If I go to this 30-minute time frame right now, and if you've learned the strategies, you'll see it's divergent. So Bitcoin for me at the moment, although it is going to be on my favorites list, it's not one that I'm actively seeking trading opportunities just yet. I'm looking for better cyclicity. We'll move to Ethereum now. We're going to start again at this daily. I'm very happy with the way Ethereum's played out thus far. I spoke to it yesterday saying that right here, Ethereum had a job to do. It had to prove itself. It hasn't yet. It has not done that yet. The first phase of proving itself was bouncing off of that level, and it has done that beautifully well. This candle today needs to break the high, or in the coming days. I don't want to see this low taken out. I want to see the high of this green candle smashed to the upside. And if it does do that, then it's going to offer me opportunities to get long. Ethereum is not on my list. On to DOT now. And by the way, we're looking at our margin trading USD pairs. We can also go across once we find something good and look at the derivatives, which is our perpetual contracts. We'll have a look at that if we find a nice list. DOT's been on my list for quite some time, and I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this. Why? Higher low, higher high. That means we're in an uptrend. Higher low, higher high. Old level of resistance. That's around $4.47, as you can see marked in from my scan yesterday. If we can see this pull back into here and get a little bullish candle, i.e. fitting the trading rules, the checklist for the crypto cradle strategy for which I've taught, then I'm so in. Right now on this 4 hour, we are in a fine area. If I see a small bullish candle in here, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'll be assessing that against my checklist. And if there is a trade that sets up, I'll take it. That is why DOT has the star. It is on a watch list. I want to keep my eye on this to make sure that if an opportunity arises, then I bloody well take it. We've got a file coin now. I don't know what file 6 means. I don't really know. And here's the beauty of the way that I trade. I would trade your mother's curtains if there was enough volume. I do not care. All right? I don't care what the product is. I don't care about the tech. I'm a trader. My objective is really to bank profits and move them back into things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I see them as a safer asset class than some of the alts. But I will work the alts till the cows come home because I know there's profits there. Again, little bullish candle in the cradle, very good move. Did you get it? Let's look at the 1 hour right now. This 1 hour is impressing me. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. I'd like to see it in at 1750. Why? Again, rule 1 of the bonus factors, old resistance can act as new support. Now I want to see it pull back in quite quickly here because I don't want to see a lower high up at those levels. but it's in my list for that reason. A pullback in a $17.50 small bullish candle, that could signal for me, again, against your checklist. Now I'm tapping my checklist. I've been doing this for 15 years, 11 years unchanged with the strategies that I'm teaching now, but I still use my checklist. Why? There's no room for thinking when it comes to trading and when it comes to running a business. You have a strategy, you have a plan, you have a basis to work from. My objective is not to think, my objective is to act. I worked with a couple of traders in London before I got into crypto. One was an analyst. We would trade, right? This analyst would always ask why. Why did that move happen? The analyst didn't make money. We as traders did, because we don't need to know why. We act upon what we see. So let's move to EOS. Now, EOS is very sideways. Look at this chart. This is not conducive of opportunity, so I'll move straight past it. It's about being quick and getting away from the mush. It's like a gold mine. You put dirt in the top end and you want to get the results at the back end. The more good dirt we put through, the more dirt we put through, we've got to scan. We've got to pull the goodness out of that dirt. Right now, EOS, no good dirt. CRV, very strong run. The 8-hour, no interest. The 4-hour, higher low, higher high. Yes, there's interest. Let's go lower. Ooh. Whew, it was close, wasn't it? Please do ask questions if you have them. I'm not sure how to see your questions if there is questions on the live gate platform. I will educate myself further on that. But if you are in the GoToWebinar, please ask any questions. If I was to see it pull back into here and give a bullish candle, well, that represents a lower high. So as you can see, that's a star, which means it goes into my favorites list up here. Look, you put a star next to it, it goes into a watch list. And this is what we're creating together. I'm actually going to remove the star on CRV because I was hoping to see it pull back a little bit deeper and give me a little bit more. It's not done that, so we kick it to the we kick it to the curb. Oh goodness me! Wow. Oh, all right. I've got to reposition in my seat. This is wonderful. Let's go to the daily and let's work our way down. I always work multiple time frames. We've seen Litecoin higher low on the daily, very strong. I mean, Litecoin has really, knocked it out this last sort of 8 days. Really strong move. The 8-hour, as you can see, a higher low. It's pulled back in, and if you had taken that trade, you would have made money on that. But I'm not interested in that right now. I am now interested in this on the lower time frames. Higher low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right now, Litecoin is right in that cradle zone that I'm after. A small bullish candle in there for me that fits the rules. Hey, listen, I'm all over it. It's going to stay in the list. It's a good looking chart. Moving along now to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, higher low, high. It looks good. Problem I've got is it's getting a little bit sticky in here. It's not really got that cyclicity. When I say cyclicity, I want to see something like, what's a good example? Actually, daily is probably pretty good. When I say cyclicity, I mean I'm using the 10 period moving average and the 20. Look at this, higher low, high, pull back into that area, bounce, pull back into that area. I want to see that bounce. If I'm looking at the 1 hour, I just don't have that bounce. Sure, profit there, but it's not continued. I'm not interested in Bitcoin Cash for that reason. XRP to me is only worthy if it can break up through this 26-cent level. All right, and I'll show you why. You run a line through here, you got call it 26 cents. We've got a higher low, slightly higher high, but it really did struggle to get through 26 cents. I want to see this set as a higher low and push up through. If we can clear 26 cents, and XRP for me really hits the sweet spot, and I'll be all over that like cheese or melted cheese on toast. Now, I'm very Australian, so apologies for that. If you don't get my analogies, then I guess that's just something you're going to have to get used to. Okay, Gather. Sorry, Gather. It's not Gather. It's bloody Gate token. Unfortunately, I mean, look, you got divergence on these lows. Let's pull back in and move. Let's look at the lower time frames, and dare I say it, oh, I might get fired. It's a really nice downtrend, guys. There's nothing to trade short on it just yet. But it isn't a nice downtrend. I don't like the chart structure at this stage, so I'll move on. And the purpose of these scans, ladies and gentlemen, is really, it's not to labor a point. My objective is not just to talk about a chart if there's nothing there. My objective is to focus in on the structured approach and the strategy that I teach. If I don't see satisfactory conditions, I shall let you know as to why, and then we move on. Now with Bitcoin SV, there's a higher low and a higher high, but it needs to continue to move. There is no continuation there. If I look at the 4 hour here, it's sloppy. I am not trading in sloppy conditions. This is my money that I trade, as is your money. We need to focus on the best opportunities that present themselves. Sushi, didn't that have a real fall from grace, huh? Not enjoying it down here, not enjoying it on the 8 from a low to a high. There is no trend. There's resistance right there at 71 cents. Yeah, there's really nothing to excite me there. We'll go to Uniswap next. This was one that I put in there. If you follow the Gate YouTube page and their Twitter, you'll have heard me talk about this as being a potential shorting opportunity. Well, it triggered and it's run. So far, you'd be in very good profit right there. Now, I'm not going to put that in the list. Sorry, I'm not going to put it in because it's already there. I'm going to leave it in the list because that was a trade for me. Beautiful pullback in. I teach you on the course the anatomy of a candlestick as to what that actually means. I don't give it a silly name like a spinning top or a doji. Or once you understand the language of markets, you don't need to remember their names. The people in your family, you need to remember their names. Your kids, you need to remember your own kids' names. But the person you see at school every now and again, you don't need to remember their kids' names. Same here. We don't need to know everything about the names. We just need to know what it means. Okay. Yes, there was a short. Yes, it's in profit at this stage. No, I'm not looking for anything further on Uni right now. If you're not short, you missed out. Ontology. This is a nice little downtrend. Look, lower high, pull back into the cradle zone. Very good profit. Pull back in, very good move. No trade, but there was a trade there. Let's go lower. Focusing on trend first. Okay, 8 hour, nothing there. 4 hour, a pull back up into this region could be good. We are extending ourselves a little bit here and a little bit thin through those lower time frames, so just be careful. On the 8 hour, I would suggest, honestly, for me, it's 6:20 p.m. here in Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia. This will be one that I'll come back and do a quick scan in the morning and see if it's pulled back a little bit. Of course, hang on, what's happening there? We're back at, no, sorry. Yeah, so of course, for me, as I'm doing this scan, I'm commentating to you. When I do it myself, I would be through this list already. It's just a matter of practice. I don't like the daily trend because there is none. High to low, no clear definition. The 8 hour, however, has a little bit more definition. We're breaking through support right there at 10 cents. Round number, psychological barrier. Tell you what I do like. I'll tell you what, I'll talk to you about that round number. I'm going to put this in the list and I'll tell you why. It's breaking down through a round number through a level of support. If it breaks down further and pulls back into there for what I call the cradle trade, which again, you can learn in the course, it is free. Thank Gate for that. Then that would be something that I would consider, and therefore it goes on my list. It's not ready right now. My objective is to create a watch list for which I don't have to continue to go through this whole list every single moment of the day. Binance has really tried hard to push up through 32 and it's failed. All right, dead set, it's failed. That being said, $31, if I've got a little bullish candle in there, I might consider a long. I will pop that in. Again, this is a watch list. It's about knowing where to look. It's your job to come back. I call it trading windows. You don't need to trade full-time hours to still make full-time income. I run my business, TraderCobb.com. It takes a lot out of me. There's a lot of work I've got to do. But I make sure with the screens that I've got, I've always got my watch list there so I can go back. If I know that a 4 hour candle is going to close at, let's say, 7 p.m. my time, I'll come back at 6:45 p.m. Have a quick look through that watch list. Anything that's setting up, well, now I can go and raise my orders. Binance is not ready for me right now, but it is one that I will put in that list. Moving to Link. I want to see it break $13 before I really get too much more involved in Link. It's a little bit choppy through here, as you can see. Again, this does not constitute good trading conditions, and that's a big part of being a trader, is knowing, well, when to hold and when to fold them. I know it sounds corny, fact of the matter. Zcash, again, a little bit messy. Not Lionel Messi, just messy. Lower high, lower low. If we can push on down through these lows here at 58, 57, we might have something to work with. But again, that's a tomorrow morning type play for me. It's not right now. Let it do its thing. We're nominating opportunities based on trend. BTM, it's flat. I don't want anything to do with that. I can move straight past that. There's nothing for me. Tron's much the same unless it's done something today. No, again, look at this sideways chop. No interest. I'm a trend follower. Trading can be easy if you allow it to be. Trading can be very complicated if you allow it to be. Well, guess what? Good news, choice is yours. I have had a very simplistic approach to my trading since I've actually found the mentor that I found about 12 years ago. And since then, hey, it's been good. I won't say it's been easy. I'll say it's been good. We've got support running through here. Tezos right now has got to break that support. Go Niels. Yeah, look, until it breaks that support, I should also say hi, Bob, Karen, Lee, Matthew. There's a lot of people in here. If I don't get to respond to your name, I do apologize. I'm not interested in Tezos here until we can bust our way down through that support. Don't be surprised if we see Bitcoin have a decent pullback. That is why I'm very open to short trades. The reason I'm very open to short trades is that if Bitcoin with its current dominance is to pull back, then you can be sure as sugar that we're likely to see the alts pull back at a multiple of several times that of Bitcoin. In my experience, it tends to be the alts fall at maybe 2 to 3%. If Bitcoin falls 1, we might see alts fall 2 to 3. So if you're looking for short trades, and don't forget, we're looking at a margin list, which means that you can short. That means making money as the market falls. We've got opportunities available to us. Lower high, lower low. Oh, I was stalking this today, actually. I wanted it to pull back up into 440. I've been stalking this for 2 days, as a matter of fact, not just today. Why? Old support, boom, in a 440, small bearish candle like that up here. That's a short for me. I'll have a look at the 1 hour just quickly. A little bit too Raggedy Ann for me. I'll leave that one alone for the time being, although it is doing as I would hope for it to do for a good trend. Atom, again, look at that support straight away. Boom, boom. 2 tests at a specific level. That is support. We'll drop that line in. And I call this a reference point. It doesn't mean I'll trade it, but it's a reference to when I do a quick scan again, I'll see that line and it will draw me towards it. There's not going to be any trades for me just yet based on crypto cradles. I do teach a Bitcoin breakout, but we haven't taught that in here, so I'm not going to discuss that because I don't want to confuse people. We're at Moeda. Hit the daily. Oh, what a great run that had, huh? What a stellar run. At the moment, though, I'm not interested until it breaks through here. If it breaks down through there, I'll have a very clear lower high and a very clear lower low. So it's not going to cut the mustard just yet. Serum, the old FTX DeFi project, very messy. Confused, messy. It's a straight up no thank you, ma'am. Cardano, look, it's been messy too. It's really struggled. Whilst other markets have moved higher, especially those top 10 tokens for which Cardano has been involved in for quite some time, most of this year, as a matter of fact, it's actually been coming off. Now, it looks great against Bitcoin for a short, but against USDT, it's a little bit messy, a very decent fall. Now, I'm suspecting right now that Bitcoin has probably had quite the dip whilst we've been on this commentary, because I'm seeing some big red candles here across some of these alts. Nothing there on Cardano for me. Grin and bear it. Little bearish again, it's not in the space that I want it to be. And if you're sitting there at home right now watching this and going, I don't know what he's talking about, again, I encourage you to go through the to go through the registration and get the information that's going to make you understand what the heck I'm talking about. Doge does what Doge does. It does nothing for a long time, then it moves. It does nothing for a long time, then a move. It's not one for me right now that is of any interest because there is no trend. Oh, yeah, I'm cool with the rules. Algo hit the 4. Okay, nice little trend here. Algo, where are you, my little friend? Down here. That's going in the list. Why? Lower highs, lower lows. A little bit funky looking chart right here, but I'll tell you what, the 4 and the 8, it does have the structure that I want. I'd like to see it squirt lower and then pull back. So that's in my list. Yield farming or YIFI or whatever the thing's called. Right. We got the 8 hour here. I don't. Can't trade it on the 1 hour at this stage. I'll look at the 8. I don't think I'll be jumping on that. Whoops, sorry. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? There we go. All right. Back to the daily. I mean, you want to know why to short a market? Well, here's a prime example, ladies and gentlemen. We were up at 45 or close to $45,000 per whatever this is, right? And look, I'm not a fundamentals guy. I'll tell you the truth. Technology and me, it's like chalk and cheese. It's just, we just don't get along. I'm good at what I do. Technology, oh dear. You should have known how long it took me to get this thing worked out with this whole live thing on Gate. My goodness, I'm shocking. But what I can do is I can read a market, okay? And when I read this market, I want to show you that look at most people in crypto only look to the long side. There is an enormous amount of money to be made to the short side. For those that understand how to manage their risk, how to use margin trading to make money as the markets fall, don't forget things move up fast in this space. They also move down fast. Now, if you know how to trade, you can make money on both sides. And that's why I'm sitting here with a big smile on my dial. I'm not interested at the moment on YFI. Bitcoin Diamond, is that still a thing? Okay, well, there you go. Choppy on the daily, a little bit funky on the 4. It's not of interest to me. Eternity is next on this particular list. Okay, it's falling hard and fast. That daily is in a downtrend. There is divergence. Again, I've got to keep saying it, but if you don't understand what I'm saying, then it's up to you to get the access to the information that I've presented, because it will become very clear and apparent. And it's only, there's about, what have we got, 6 hours, 6 or so hours so far. Make sure you've watched through the whole thing and registered for part 4, which is Monday evening Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which is me presenting it live. Ask questions, get involved. It will make these scans, it will make the watch lists much, much more clear for you, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in a much deeper level. Nas, although one of my favorite rappers, trading wise, doesn't cut the mustard. As we go down this list, we work away a little bit from liquidity, so we have to be a little bit more careful as what we do. That means we don't go to the really low time frames. Why? I'll show you. On the 15 minute, see this? It's not got the cyclicity. If I look at the 4, it's not so bad. It's the 8 hour that I'm interested in and the daily on a chart like this, and it's not there for me. Let's suss this puppy. Oh, beautiful, beautiful downtrend. Check the 8. Oh, the problem I've got is see this low to this low. The MACD, here's the low. We didn't make a lower low. Therefore, divergent. I want convergence. I want price and the MACD to be in agreement. They are not. Therefore, it's a sure sign for me to leave it alone. And to be fair, what I've been finding of late, this is also no good. What I've been finding of late is that the higher market cap coins, tokens, whatever you want to call them, markets, have been providing the opportunity. And I love that because I can trade decent size and still get filled. I can still take those trades. As you go to thinner markets, and I understand that not everyone's got a large account. It just means that you've got to, if you've got a larger account, you don't want to be trading the pairs that are more illiquid. Now, I could say go and trade everything, but that would not be me giving you a service. All right, you've got to focus on the account size, and that takes some time to get used to. It does, but you'll get used to it, especially if you go through and learn what we're looking for. This is a lovely trend, actually. MBL, lower highs, lower lows, broke support. I'm going to pop that little puppy in now, not because there's any trade setting up now, but because there's a really nice trend. And one of the things that I do, especially if I'm doing an evening scan like I am right now, is I want to know where, like when I get up in the morning, I want to go straight to my watch list and I want to look at it straight up because I know it's trending. And that's where I find my trades, in a trending market. All right, daily. Okay, B. Oh, it's a very ugly chart. I'm not gonna lie. It's horrendous. ATP, is that the name of a United States mobile service? Again, look, see this chart's a little bit, it looks like R2D2. It doesn't fill me with any certainty about direction there, so I'll just go straight past it. JST, again, no idea what it does, but again, sideways chart, no interest. And this is what you want to be learning how to do, guys. Cut and run. If it doesn't give you what you want immediately, this does, lower high, lower low, divergent on the daily. We work the time frames, we check opportunities, we skip around, we look for where we're at. I'm not going to put that in now. That could be something for tomorrow morning to go through my list. Nothing there. 4 hour, see this little gappy stuff? Don't want that. Time frame to trade this, daily. Got to break that support, got to do it properly for Blue Zell. Not interested. OMG, this was a short today. There was an opportunity here for a short on the lower time frame. It's a little bit sketchy through here. Again, I want to see it break that support. $3.08 is really a bit of support. So for me, it won't be on my list right now. Kai. Oh, it's a little bit well, not a little bit, it's a lot bit sideways. I'll just scroll down a little bit further. Again, we're on daily. This sideways action is no action. As a trader who trades trends, I want to focus on where opportunity is, and it's not in a non-trending market. CKB, it's downtrending. That spike higher, I'm not interested. It really has been tonight, as it often is, about the higher market cap tokens. The ones you're aware of, you know. And sideways, let's go again. And this is what often happens is that when you get to the bottom end of your charts, you can actually speed the process up. Well, again, I'm not interested there. It's not, oops, sorry. It's not quite what I'm after. Pearl, mother of. Sideways, no interest there once again. And you might be thinking, hang on, you're rushing through this. No, this is not rushing. This is reading a chart and understanding what I'm looking for. I set the rules, as do you if you learn this strategy. I'm not asking the market if I can trade. I'm asking the market if it will give me what I want. I am the referee because I set the rules. OCN, no thanks, mate. Vidi, sideways, no, not interested. So it's really, this is just a display once again, you do not need a lot of time to learn to trade. This kimchi, there's not much going on there, so I'll go straight beyond that. You don't need a lot of time. You do need to have focus. You do need to know what you're looking for. You do need to have structure. Leo is a little bit all over the show. So again, I'll leave that. As we get lower in this list, as I said before, we can move away from the larger liquidity providers. ONG, I've been watching this a very long time and I have not had a trade. Same again today. We're just going through the motions here. Going through the motions. Theta fuel. Sideways, again, just kick it. That's how fast. Make a decision, move on. You've got to be decisive as a trader. Again, CNNS, no thank you. It's a little bit no thank you for me as a trader. I'm not talking to fundamentals here. GMAT, no, not enough going on there for me. Seller, I call this celery, I don't know why. Again, sideways, I know this market, this chart very well. I scan it every single day. I'm still waiting for my opportunities. Iris, sideways. See how fast we can actually get rid of things. It's a process of elimination. Do not waste time if it's not there. That is too gappy. I'm not touching it. And last but not least, I'm going to call that learn. Again, very average. So we've gone through the full margin trading list here on the Gates exchange. Now what we're going to go and do is we're going to go back to our favorites. This is what we've got to watch for the rest of the day. We've scanned the whole list. We've now got to a point where we go, well, we know where the cream's at, right? This is where the cream's at. This is where our opportunity's at. Now, if you're for the next 12 hours going to be awake and up, we'll come back. So set a plan, have a notebook. Here's what we do. We go, right, Bitcoin's pulling back. Let's look at the 1 hour. Well, I'm not too interested here. It's had a bit of a pullback. The 4 hour, maybe, but you know what? It's not got the cyclicity, but I'm going to keep an eye on it because Bitcoin's the big dog. I've always got that in my watch list. DOT. Now, this is probably a chart that I've been stalking a trade here for quite some time. For me, given the hours that I operate in, being that I'm in Sydney, Australia, here's what I hope, right? When you're trading, you've got to put in the perfect case scenario and you've got to hope that you get it. It's about planning the trade before it happens. And then when it happens, you trade the plan. So for me, I'd love nothing more than for this candle to close right there at the low of the candle around 450. And then the next 8 hour candle to open up and be a small bullish candle off of 450. So I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do at 7 a.m. is go, ha ha, what a wonderful trade. I raise my orders, my job is done. I either get filled. If I get filled, I might make a win, I might make a loss. But I follow my rules. I don't dictate to the market whether it's a win or a loss. I dictate to myself whether it's a trade or it's not. Simplistic perfection, or perfection of simplicity is what I'm after. Fill 6, whatever that is, I don't care. 1750 back in here, the 1 hour, it still stands solid for me. A little bullish candle back in here, so it needs to pull back in and give me that. That's in my list. Litecoin above $50 is always a good thing. Oh, it's just killed itself here though, hasn't it? I mean, that's the bugger, isn't it? That candle, as we've been talking, has spiked down and taken out this low. So the trend is no longer there. So I'll take it out. We'll go to Uniswap next. Uniswap's looking rather nice. Lower high, lower low. Let's have a look at the 4. What have we got here? Uni was actually a short on the 8 hour, I believe. That's right. Yes, it is. But that being said, we do have a lower high here and a lower low. Perhaps a pullback into 275, a little bearish candle on the 1 hour may present opportunity. Keep an eye on that. Cero. What am I looking at here? Oh, that's right. It's broken support. Oh, it's got a bit of work to do though, guys. And you know what? I might actually cancel this out of the list because I've got to say it's got quite a bit of work to do. I'm actually going to take that out. This is what you do. You find trends, you throw them into your watch list, then you go back and revise your watch list because you never know how many you're going to get. If you find opportunities that don't look so good anymore, just move on. Get them out, focus on where you need to focus. Some days you'll be busy, some days you won't. I do still, however, like Binance. $31, a little bullish candle in here. Yes, I will respect that. I will likely trade that. Good convergence on our MACD, good higher highs, good cyclicity. Look at this daily, pushed up, higher low, higher high. Now, I know it hasn't moved very far, but the trend is there. I really do like the Binance chart, and I will look for opportunities there. Algo. We're in a downtrend. We're popping now through some support there. So I suspect it'll be the 4 or the 8 that I'm looking at. Yes, it is indeed. Lower highs, lower lows. That candle right there, that's the trade. Now, I know members of my community in my Slack group took that today. They were faster than me. No, I shouldn't say faster. They were just up earlier than me. Or I shouldn't even say that. They just probably don't have 2 kids. That was a trade that is now in profit. I'm looking for that again, repeated back in that zone. And finally in this list, MBL. Stellar trend, wonderful looking trend. This is a market that I'm very keen to short. And again, don't not short a market because of how you feel. This is meant to be an emotionless process, hence why I have checklists. All right, I do not trade based on what I think. My objective in 2020 has been to not think, because I left about a couple of $100 grand on the table last year because I thought XYZ would happen. The market doesn't care about your brain. It cares about your actions. Lower high, lower low. If it can extend further, a pull back in, and I'm happy to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how we scan a market. Now, I will continue to do these until Gate tell me to go away. But I want you to do two things. One, I want you to go to, hang on, I'll show you again. I want you to go to here, TraderCobb.com, Gate.io, so you can capture what we've done so far and what we're going to do on Monday. I want you also to go to TraderCobb.com. I've got much more material there that will help you to zone in on what I'm teaching through this. More material, more help. I want you to, once you've gone through the three-part course, to start doing a scan similar to what I've done with you. It's a process-driven task. It is not thinking. It is process-driven, starting with trend. And this is my watch list for the next 20 or at least the next 18 hours from when I go to bed to when I wake up. It will change tomorrow. And guess what I'll do tomorrow? If you're following Gate on Twitter, you'll see the list that I have tomorrow, and you'll see the opportunities that I see tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Call your buddies, make sure they're okay. It's been a very difficult year. And mental health's been a struggle. If you're not feeling good, call your friends and make sure you express how you're feeling. Because if it's one thing that this year has taught us, it's to be there for each other. Have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Craig Cobb of TraderCobb.com, representing Gate. Fantastic exchange, and I'll speak to you again this time next week. Bye for now.